Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode. Oh, by the way, 1773. That woman that you hear at the beginning of every show is my cousin's daughter, Anne Katrine. And last night I watched a movie, a tiny little silent movie, one of those Super 8 movies that was done by Anne Katrine's grandfather of when
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I went to visit Germany when I was just a baby, and Anne Katrine's mom,
Mike's Daily Podcast,
was pushing me in a little baby carriage. And now I've got that as an M4A. That is the most awesome thing in the world to you and me, that we can take these movies that took forever to thread through a projector, and now we can watch them whenever we want to. It's as smooth as a Inspector Clouseau.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Is that your dog? No, that is not my dog. Wait, that's not the line from that.
Mike's
He said, does your dog
Daily
bite? And
Podcast.
the guy says, no, my dog doesn't bite.
Yeah!
And the dog bites him. And he said, I thought your dog doesn't bite. And the guy said, that's not my dog. And that was the funniest part of that movie. The rest of it was zany capers and craziness, and it was Blake Edwards who did that movie. Blake Edwards did some bizarre movies. Go back and watch them this weekend. They're old. And he was married to Julie Andrews. Just the craziest stuff. And you got, well, Peter Sellers liked working with him, so they were a good team back in the 70s, 60s, and 70s. Well, yesterday was nuts. What are you nuts? Crazy. And all I can say is stuff gets unraveled sometimes. A little bit unraveled. And I'm glad that 2018 is done. When the year ends on a note like that, and with the government shut down, and with the stock market going down, but then it came back up. At the last 90 minutes, it goes up 200 points. I almost don't want the stock market to open today. And I think it also opens on New Year's Eve, right? On Monday, so by all appearances, I guess I will be doing one more show before the end of the year. I'll be doing one on Monday, God permitting. So we'll see. That's happening.
And here's today's podcast picture.
We have Benita the Rodeo Queen in the picture, and she's here right now. Hi, Mark. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing? I didn't know that I was supposed to be on today's show. Yes, you are. Yeah. And did you bring your horse, Nilly? No. I'm just kidding. Here she is. I don't see Nilly. I don't hear Nilly. And this is sort of a patio cast. Patio. You got a patio mouth. Oh, there he is. Yeah, that's my horse, Nilly. Hi, Nilly. Look who else is here.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant. Oh, wait, he's the guy that always hangs out with me there.
And this is Bison Bentley. Dude!
And it's a disgruntled fiddle player. I was driving with Bison Bentley. He's an awful driver. Tell you what.
What?
Stay as far away from him as possible.
Okay.
I'm really busy right now.
Oh, good old Kip. Yes, I love technology. Not as much as you see. Always and forever. Well, what can we say about 2018? That's when I met my lovely lady friend, was 2018. And I think with everything that went wrong at my job the past couple days, and it's funny because the other place that I sometimes stop by and help out at also had issues. So it's sort of a thing at the end of the year. It's been like a Houston, we have a problem type of year at the end. And I don't remember this.
Houston, we have a problem.
I don't remember that always being the case of the end of the year, but for some reason this year. So does that mean next year is going to be all wonderful and sunshine and roses? I hope so. Maybe this is the dip before the dawn. I hope so. I hope good things are around the corner. But look who's pouring us delicious root beer here. Delicious.
Hello, Mike. I make the delicious root beer. I'm the brewmaster. Oh, boy.
Brewmaster, there's nothing like a little root beer. And Mona Charon and Greta Bronner on your C-SPAN.
That's what I said. Oh, boy.
So, Reading. What a town. I had only stayed in Reading once in the 90s, just for the night, then had to take off. Reading, this time of year anyway, it's chilly. They've got the sundial bridge, which you go, yeah, whatever. No, it's actually really cool. It's got these glass bricks on the bottom so you can kind of see below it. It goes over the Sacramento River, which right now is rushing, despite the drought, despite global warming, despite everything else, despite the fires, despite whatever else. And it's rushing. See, that's beautiful. I was able to take my wonderful dog, Basil the Boxer, out there, and then he played a little bit. No, he was more like, get me the hell off this thing. But we got him out there, and he doesn't do so well on hard surfaces now. It kind of freaks him out because he'll be walking and then he can't get his back leg to go, so he'll scratch it and doesn't like that. He's much better on grass. He loves grass. But we got him out there and a lot of people were, oh, what a cute dog, and they were all petting him, so he had a great time. And we got, now that's not the podcast picture today though, it's of Benita the Rodeo Queen, but I should post a picture from that in an upcoming episode. And I said a couple things about NPR podcasts yesterday. As we go outside of Café Anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valleymont, the last place on earth, episode 1773. All these people here with me. Maybe you're going to have a great New Year's Eve day, New Year's Eve weekend. I personally love the fact that Christmas gets held over till the following week, even though most radio stations stop playing the Christmas music. But you can also, if you have a hankering for it, there are a myriad of internet radio stations you can listen to Christmas music to, some year round. There's one called Christmas Live. There's one called, and this is from Soma FM, they do the Christmas Rocks, San Francisco Xmas, or Frisco Xmas, something like that. And then there's one called Jolly Old Soul that Soma does, and there's one other one they do that's like a lounge Christmas. Those are all fun to listen to year round. Then, of course, if you have something like Pandora or Spotify, you can always type in, or I think there's Slacker, and is Last FM still around? And you can type in there and say Christmas, and you get Christmas music. If you so desire. If you're sick of it, well, heck, you are a happy person, because people are turning it off left and right. Speaking of writing, I had to write a memo here and there since my new job took over. It's good to get to the point. Don't fluff it up. Don't throw your personality in it. Just get to the point. If you want to do a personality thing, don't do that with the company-wide stuff. Keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. Shout it out loud, but get to the point and say it directly. And part of that, too, is later on you can say, oh, I told them this, see? And I said it directly, and I put it in the front line. I didn't bury it later in the memo. So it's good to get to the point, is my point. And I've seen that and I only am saying that not from some kind of book that I read, but emulating what has worked for me in the past by reading other people's memos and going, yeah, no, I got the point. It's in the... And you try not to treat your audience, the person reading the letter, as if they're stupid. I hate that. I hate how NPR now, it always comes back to how I hate NPR. And, hey, NPR, are you hiring? Just kidding. No. The fact is, they talk down to their audience so often now. It's pretty sad. I listen to it and I go, wow. I remember once upon a time I'd listen to NPR and I didn't understand what the hell they were saying. Maybe that's why they've dumbed it down so much. It's interesting. Not that, I mean, I'm so busy now. that I barely had time to watch this cute little movie. So my cousin went through her dad's, he shot a bunch of Super 8s, and she was able to convert a lot of them to a video, to M4A. And there was one movie that was particularly, and it is amazing to me because, well, my Uncle passed away a couple years ago, but I think he had a deep love for me and my mom, and I think he really, like, when we came to visit Germany, it meant the world to him. And he showed it by the fact that he put some work into editing this Super 8 film. That was not easy back then. Nowadays, you open up Windows, Film Producer, whatever the heck, or there's a zillion other free software downloadables and stuff. And it's easy. But back then, he had to splice it. He had to do it himself. And he did. He did these little transitions, these little animated transitions between. And it was so nice of my cousin to send that to me. Anyway, that was a great Christmas gift. My lovely lady friend gave me a new blender. Yes, a blender that'll also be a fruit processor, which will also be a gift to her because I promised to use that for her and put, blend and process and make. You can make frickin' turkey sausage with it. Isn't that amazing? With the blender, turkey sausage. Get some turkey. Sorry. Blended up a turkey. That's just so mean. That's the end of the show. I'm going to end on that note. A wah, wah, wah. Because that's the note that 2018 ended on. God, I hope Monday's better. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But I hope you've been enjoying this show for today. And a little walk down memory lane and talking about Blake Edwards and Redding, California. Redding. I almost took a job in Redding 12 years ago. The only problem with Redding is it gets so hot. This time of year, it's nice. It's kind of wintry. You got snow on the mountains nearby. But, would I have been good working in radio in Redding? I don't know. I'm in the Bay Area, though, and that's where I am. And that's where you can find me, Mike's Daily Podcast at gmail.com if you'd like to write me. Or you can call me, 336-MM-DAILY. 336-MM Daily, and the website mikesdailypodcast.com, where you can see today's podcast picture with Benita. It's going to be great, and it's all there on the internet for you to enjoy. Enjoy the rest of your Friday and weekend.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!